Welcome back to the Flat Earth podcast. I hope that you had a wonderful summer. I had a lovely summer. It was good. I feel rested and relaxed. But man, I need to talk to you about some stuff. We need to get going. There is stuff going on. There is stuff to talk about. The world's in crisis even more than last time, which I didn't think was possible. I've got plans. I've got disappointments. I've got exciting stuff, new stuff, old stuff, more of the same old stuff. Let's get into this. Come on now. Oh, mate. Ladybird Cup. I thought this was like strawberries or something. I said to my wife, she was like, "What cup do you like?" I said, "I like the strawberry cup." I said the cup with butterflies. She went with ladybirds. I was like, "Shit, yeah, it's ladybirds." Whatever, man. I like this cup. Kill me, sue me, do what you got to do. So welcome back to the Flat Earth podcast. As ever, if you're watching on YouTube, you take a moment to like, subscribe, press the little bell icon, select all on the little belly thing there so you get all the videos and content that we put out. Make sure that thumbs up's really helpful, and the little comments would be really good. If you want to know anything more about the podcast and what we do in the world, why we exist, head on over to theflatearthpodcast.com. There you'll find previous episodes, bloggy stuff, pictures of my face, link to the Spotify audio only, and a little PayPal button. Now, about this PayPal button, okay? It's been used maybe a couple of times, but I've got to be honest with you, with the world the way it's going, and it turns out Putin makes everything, so now everything's gone up because he's busy fighting a war, and so he's not making things, so everything's more expensive, and bread's more expensive, and petrol's more expensive, and we're going into a serious crisis and recession and all-time high inflation, and that PayPal button's never been more important than right now. I mean, come on. Support Rick this winter. Do you know a Rick that's suffering? Do you know a Rick that's going to struggle to eat 6 meals a day right now? Do you know a Rick who needs stuff? New computers and caviar and angels' tears in golden buckets. Do you need what he needs? Then support me through the PayPal button. Get on over to there if you want to. If you don't worry, it's okay. Now, I want to talk to you about something really important. This is a quick kind of welcome back from summer in and out video. Now, some of you will know I was a pastor. I was a Christian pastor of a church, a couple of churches for around 15 years. And my favourite time of year, every year, there were 2 big events in my calendar that happened every year. Take a moment and guess what they are. Wrong. If you know anything about Christian pastors and Christian people and the Christianity and stuff, you might have thought, well, Rick, obviously the 2 most important dates in your calendar when you were the pastor in charge of the spiritual direction and nourishment of your flock was definitely the celebration at Easter and the celebration at Christmas. Nah, bruv. No, not at all. My 2 favourite times of year, every year, were January and September. Let me look at bad form. You can tell I've not been podcasting for a while because I ain't even put my phone on airplane. Would you like to take a moment to put your phone on airplane mode? Good. Yeah, my 2 favourite times were January and September. It's because when you work with people, and that was one of the things that was awesome but unsettling about pastoring people for 15 years. When you work with people's long-term life issues, and you work with people and you're trying to help them get through sticky things and get through good times and get through changes, you realize that one of the force multipliers of people's success in their life, and by success I mean sorting out some area they want. I don't mean financial success and all that sort of stuff necessarily, but is their level of commitment and energy and givenness to any task or situation. And I just found that culturally in the wider world, and also within that little subculture of churches, there was an unparalleled bank reservoir of energy that was unleashed each January and each September. These 2 moments, these 2 bookends I guess, where people believed they could change. People believed they would do it. New year, and new me. You ever heard this? You know, and if you've got kids like me, I've now got both kids are in secondary school. My little one right now, this day, is doing her first day in secondary school. Bless her cotton socks. But if you've got kids, or you're a teacher, or you work in certain industries, you'll know you might think in academic years. And September is the beginning of a new academic year. Everything changes. Everything's different. We have a bit of a lull during the summer period where we kind of chill. We have a holiday. We have a bit of a downtime. The rhythms of life are different. And then in September, we all gear back up. The roads get really busy. Well, roads are always busy now, but you know, September's different, January's different, and people have this hyper level of energy available to them. They have that somehow in these moments, particularly January, but September as well. People have this picture of some other version of them that for once feels entirely attainable for them, and it's awesome. So I love those moments. I love speaking to those moments. I love the energy in those moments, encouraging people to change and look at where they've been and plan where they're going forward. I say all that to say, I am now, here we are, 2nd of September. This is coming out on the 5th of September. This is Monday when you're watching this, but this is like Friday when I'm recording this, right? I'm now in a moment where I need to give fresh energy, and I'm in a level of self-delusional belief that it can happen. I'm there. I'm in that zone. Are you in that zone? Or maybe you're not. Maybe you're in you feel like you're stuck. But no, come from the stuck. Join me over here. Get out of, come unstuck. Come over here into something which I'm calling, it's going to last 8 weeks. I was about to announce the name then, but I haven't really got... I'm thinking of it as empty. I'm calling it empty. I don't want to call this podcast, 8 weeks of empty. It doesn't sound like something I want to do, but you know what I'm saying. I'm going to spend the next 8 weeks fully giving myself to my life. Now, some of you know, if you've been on the journey with the channel, in the beginning of this year, we started a process called the 1046 Project, okay, or Project 1046. And it was, I wanted to lose a bunch of weight by my birthday at the end of May, when I turned 46. And part of that was getting back on a skateboard and doing something I used to do and loved, and doing it again. So we did that successfully. Bought a new skateboard, been skateboarding a bit, turned 46. I dropped 30 pounds in that kind of 5-month period. We had targets, we changed diet. I was running every day, well, not every day, but I was at least doing 10 to 15,000 steps a day, running very often. I got very physically fit. And then my birthday happened at the end of May, and I went away for the weekend, and I thought I'd just have a weekend off. Weekend kind of lasted a while. Weekend kind of lasted till like 2 days ago. So if you look at my progress in my app, I'll put a little picture of it, right? Fitness is like really well, and then suddenly it tails off, and then the last 3 months or so there's nothing. I gave myself fully back to my old lover Doritos and my old friends of late nights and over portioned meals and no exercise. So of that 30 pounds I lost, I've definitely crawled back, taken back about 15 pounds of that. I feel a bit heavier again. So I knew coming into September there were some changes that need to happen. And actually, I was talking to my friend the other night on the phone, and I can't believe I'm going to say it. I have to check, but I got a feeling, because it was late at night, my friend was in Paris and I was messaging him, and I was like, dude, like, I think I spoke about myself in the third person. I think I said, mate, I need to change. What if Rick gave himself fully to his marriage, fully to writing, fully to podcasting, fully to video making, fully to fitness and diet? What if I gave myself fully? What if I emptied myself? I mean, gave everything. I'm in the middle, I'm 2 and a bit years into a whole new way of living. I left the pastoring thing and the employment and decided I'm going to write books. And in the middle of writing books, we started a podcast. In the middle of doing a podcast, we started YouTube. This is the way we were going. But I think it's been lackadaisical the last few months. But but I want to give myself. So I was saying to my friend, mate, what if I gave myself? What if I said 8 weeks? From now in September till the end of October, what if I fully gave myself? What if I just burned the candle, you know, and not in a reckless way, not in an unhealthy way, because some of the things I want to give myself to and empty a lot of my energy and effort into are, again, diet and fitness. I want to do that. What have you got going on? Where could you join me in empty? Where could you say, Rick, I'm going to give everything. I'm going to unload my energies. Where could you really just say, I'm going to give my all to this? Join me there. How does it look for me? For me, it looks like I've got to take control of my sleep, diet, and work life. They're the main areas, and I'm hoping all my relational stuff would work out in that too. So for me, it looks like no later than midnight is bedtime, right? So hopefully before, but no later than midnight. I'm going to get up every morning no later than 7 a.m., okay? And then I'm going to sort out my family. I get my 2 daughters ready and off for school. My wife, she goes off to work, also a teacher, different school, but then the day is mine. I take my dog, beautiful dog Cooper, out for a little walk, and then I get back. I do a couple of household tasks till 10 a.m. and then from 10 till 6, I give myself 100% balls to the wall, mad, deep, empty myself to my 3 projects in life at the moment: writing books, podcast, and YouTube. That's what I am going to do. Just full on commitment. Outside of that, I'm going to recommit to eating well and exercising well. Went for a run yesterday. Man, it was horrible. After gaining, like I say, pulling back 15 pounds after running at 15 pounds lighter, and 30 pounds lighter actually, and after bad eating, it was hard. It was hard, man. It really was not fun at all. But we're back on it. Important that we did it. We're going to keep doing it. So can you join me? Will you join me? Can I help you? And can you help me? 8 weeks of empty. Pour yourself into something. And there must be things in your life, even now in your life, you think, I could do that. Maybe it's not just a work thing. Maybe you're happy in your work life, but there's something else. Maybe it's into your marriage or your friendships, or maybe it's health and fitness for you. Maybe it's some other project around other things you do. And you've been messing around, pussyfooting around with it for a while, farting around with it, but you need to go. No more half measures. I am going full. I will empty myself so that in 8 weeks, I will sit back and in some areas exhausted, but I will say I gave it everything I had. I didn't hold back. I didn't wait and think I'll do that tomorrow. No, I did it that day. I did it that moment. I did it the day before. What could you give yourself to, and how would that look? Like I say, for me, it looks like, and I'll make these promises now here on YouTube, and I've got a book that I've been working on for years. I finished the manuscript last year, sent it off to an editor friend in stateside who gave me some great revisions and advice. I've been very slow at working through those. And I'm going to do that. So in these 8 weeks, I'm going to finish those revisions on the book. I'm going to format and self-publish that book. So at the end of this process, in 8 weeks from now, I will be able to say to you, that is done. The book is called Become. It's about how people change. It's evidence I've gathered from a lifetime of changing and growing, and also through those 15 years working closely with people, but also just life. We all know what works and what doesn't in many ways. So it's a book about that sort of stuff. I've got a second book, The Warfare of Dreams, which is about purpose and dreams and going for it, this sort of stuff. I want to get a first working draft of that done by the end of these 8 weeks. So this book, revisions done, self-published. I want to get another book that, if not all done, the bulk of that first draft, that first swing done. And in the midst of that, we're going to do 1 podcast a week, 2 videos a week on YouTube. That's it, 8 weeks. We're going to run a lot. We're going to eat less crap. We're going to lose a bunch of weight. Like I say, I'm currently I'm like 243, 245, something like that. I don't know what it is, around the 245 pounds. So I want to get down to 220. So I want my weight to be at least 220 pounds by October half term, really. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to empty myself, give myself to it, hell for leather. I'm going for it. Within there as well, they're the things that are easily controlled because it's just me. But I also want to work on all the relationships in my life, my friends, my marriage, my children, my parenting of them. I want to work on that stuff. So that's what I'm doing. 8 weeks of empty. Will you join me? Will you pick one? And will you be brave enough to either, you can message me directly or throw it in the comments. I'm with you, Rick. I'll do it. It's going to be fun. You can follow along week by week. I'll talk about it when I can, and we'll throw videos up on YouTube about progress in certain areas. Other than that, that's it. Just quick one, in and out. Bless you guys. Hope you had a great summer, and let's get on with it. 8 weeks of empty. Let's do this. Happy September to you. Bless you. Later.